Hi, and welcome to VFX Tutors. I'm Josh, and in this tutorial we're going to be continuing with our chainsaw model. In the previous tutorial we made these sort of brackets, and made these holes and sort of laid them out. So in this one we're just going to continue make some more brackets and this will probably be a very quick tutorial, just to sort of finish up this sort of how this battery is held on. So we're just going to make a very basic bracket. I'm not going to... I haven't got any... well, I'm basically going to use like a very similar reference to this. It's not going to be super complicated. I'm just going to make a bracket going across the top of here. So... and I'm just going to go through and just going to create things that are going to make these batteries stay on. So I might do a couple things. So it's probably going to be either a very quick tutorial or on one little thing or a couple things. So I'm just going to make a bracket that goes across the top here, because effectively I need to make a hole so I can mount that on. And it will sort of keep it all together. As like I said, it's going to be a very quick tutorial, I think. And whether or not I want to sort of angle it so it's like that, I don't know. Right, let's just sort of block this out. And I'm just going to cut on the end and cut on this end. And just select these and extrude down. So it's probably going to be a very quick tutorial. That's going to sort of kind of just blocking that out as well to sort of figure out what I want it to look like. Let's do one. Let's reset my... So if I have that, if I have a bracket that's sort of angled like this, means that my switch could go on possibly like this. I think that could work. Well, I'm not sure if that's... so, hitting the batteries, it should be okay. So you can have a bracket going across there like that. I guess you won't see much of the switch. think that'll be okay. Cool. So we'll need some. We can put some bolts through there. That's fine. We don't need to do that yet, I don't think. We do kind of need to figure out how to make this a little bit more secure. So I'm just going to add let's fix this, let's isolate that. Just sort this bracket out. We don't have to do much of it because we're not really going to see it that much. What I'm going to do is just select all these edges. Just going to get bevel. So we'll have to add in an extra edge loop that we don't really need, but that's fine. It's such a small, it's not really best practice just to bevel things like that around, because it's kind of going to edge extra subdivisions where you don't want it, but for this case it should be absolutely fine. We want to make sure that we add, because it's going to be smoothed. See how that spreads out the smoothing a little bit better. Oh, and we seem to have missed an edge, so it's always good to double check your edges before you do that. In fact, you know what? It's such a small thing, let's just bevel a whole lot. It's quite bad, but it should be fine. No one's ever going to really notice this small bit, but it just makes it easier. You can see how much that's stretching out there. We can add some extra edges there to sort of support the smoothing. Just add one in the middle. So it's much better now. There's not as much stretching. Cool. So I might actually do that the other way around. Because I kind of want it a bit lower down. I don't really like it that high. And let's just zero all this out. Now I can actually put that in. Done that way. Let's reset my tool. And I think I actually prefer it a little bit like that, because it kind of, you can see some more of it, because we're mostly going to be seeing it from that angle. We could almost add a twist in this if we really wanted to. So I'm just gonna bevel that. I'm just going to select that middle one and press B for soft select. a slight bend on it. Just so it's like been forced and it's not so rigid. Cool. Let's adjust this so it's fitting on it. Cool. So let's actually get this. How does that actually go? So I imagine that probably goes on like that. Let's undo that. I think that actually goes not then this. Not that I will particularly see that, but it's nice to sort of get it right. Cool. So what else can we do? We can add some bolts. So I'm just going to select this bolt. Control D, Shift P that out, then Control G to group it and center the pivot. Obviously this is a massive bolt. We could just scale it and reuse a lot of stuff. And we'll do the same for the head. Control D, Shift P, Control G to bring out the group and group it. And we're at 0.552. We'll do the same for that. 0.552. Doesn't look like that is the same scale, but it's much larger. It's about the same. It should be okay. Let's just group these. Control D. And we can just leave it that way so it's just a little bit different. And we can use these. We don't really want to be remodeling stuff that we already have, because we can just break it up by different textures. Just change the scale of it a little bit. So it's all starting to slowly come together, and I think on the next one I know it's fairly quick and we just add a couple of bolts. We'll probably make some zip ties and some extra stuff to go around here. Then I think after that we'll probably start doing the chains, I think. So if you enjoyed this very quick tutorial, hit that like button and subscribe for more like this.